Let's go Lions! The Lions are currently sitting at an incredible 11-1 record and are looking like one of the best teams in the NFL. It's been a great ride so far this season, but if you've been following the team closely, you know it hasn't come without its fair share of challenges, especially when it comes to injuries. Dan Campbell, in his latest commentary, addressed the growing concerns surrounding the defense and how injuries have played a major role in shaping this season. So before we dive into the details, be sure to hit that like button if you're happy with how the Lions are doing this season, and leave a comment encouraging our Lions to keep going strong. Dan Campbell has made some comments about the injury situation, but for those hoping for some good injury news, well, the Lions are certainly feeling the heat. The defense, which has been the cornerstone of the team's success, has taken some major hits. Key players like Aiden Hutchinson and Marcus Davenport are out for the season, which has left a huge hole in the pass rushing department. And if that wasn't enough, linebacker Malcolm Rodriguez and Derek Barnes are also out for the rest of the season with injuries. To make matters worse, Alex Anzalone is out with a broken forearm. It's been a tough stretch for the defense, and head coach Dan Campbell was very open about it when he spoke to the media on Sunday. Campbell explained the situation by saying that while injuries are always a concern, this year's injuries seem to be more of a freak occurrence than anything else. We look at everything every year. This time last year, we were one of the healthiest teams, and we've done the same thing. So, yeah, we look at everything, Campbell said. We'll be able to deep dive this in the offseason, but really it's the same thing we did last year. Some of these have just kind of been one of those, like chalk it up to, that's a freak deal. It's clear that Campbell doesn't believe there's any pattern or specific reason behind the injuries, they just happen. And as frustrating as it is for the team and fans, it's something that every NFL team has to face at some point. Some years, you're just hit harder than others. Now, despite all the injuries, the Lions have still been able to perform at an incredibly high level. But with the playoffs approaching, there's no denying that the defense needs to get healthy. And that's where some new faces are coming into the picture. To help with the depth, the Lions added linebacker Quan Alexander, a 10-year veteran who has played for 6 different teams throughout his career. The most interesting part, Alexander has experience working with both Campbell and defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn from their time together in New Orleans. In his first comments as a member of the Lions, Alexander made it clear that he's ready to go to battle for his former coaches. Lot of energy. Respect those guys a lot. Happy how they're doing up here. Proud of them. So, I'm ready to go to war for them, Alexander said. His leadership and energy could be exactly what the defense needs, especially given the recent struggles. Alexander's relationship with Campbell and Glenn goes way back to their days in New Orleans, and he's seen firsthand what makes Glenn such a highly respected coach. He's just a legendary coach. Holds people accountable, Alexander said. He just makes sure everybody's in the right spot at the right time. This type of accountability could be crucial as the Lions attempt to piece together a defense in the midst of all these injuries. But it's not just about leadership. Alexander is also excited to contribute on the field. He has no illusions about what it'll take to make an impact, saying, "Just me being me. Just going out there, having fun, just having a lot of energy. Been in the league 10 years, a lot of knowledge." With players like Jack Campbell, Trevor Nowask, and David Long all seeing increased roles due to the injuries, Alexander's veteran presence is exactly what the defense needs to stay competitive. In addition to Alexander, the Lions also added defensive linemen Jonah Williams and Miles Adams from practice squads. The team has been proactive in shoring up the roster, and these new additions will need to quickly get up to speed with the defensive playbook. Campbell has made it clear that the focus will be on ensuring these new players can fit seamlessly into the system. How fast can they get? The terminology, whenever that is, knowing that they can just line up and play fast, Campbell said. The key to success here will be making sure the new players don't overthink things and can contribute immediately. And then, there's the matter of the offense. While the defensive injuries have garnered most of the attention, the Lions also dealt with an issue on the offensive line last week when Taylor Decker, the starting left tackle, was ruled out with a knee injury. Campbell said that Decker is better and better but remains day-to-day ahead of Thursday's crucial game against the Green Bay Packers. The Lions' ability to keep Decker healthy could make all the difference as the team enters this final stretch of the season. Now, one more thing that added some drama over the weekend was a social media post by Jahmyr Gibbs that raised some eyebrows. The second-year running back posted a photo of teammate Jamar Jefferson standing in front of a whiteboard that seemed to include offensive terminology. Naturally, this caused a bit of a stir among Lions fans, with concerns that secrets of the offense were unintentionally leaked. When asked about it, Campbell gave a simple response: no comment. While it doesn't seem like there will be any major changes to the offense, it's a reminder that every little detail counts, especially as the team is pushing for the NFC's #1 seed. Alright, Lions fans, That's a lot to digest, and we want to know what you think. How do you feel about the team's injury situation? Do you think Quan Alexander and the new additions can step up in a big way? And how confident are you about the team's ability to keep things rolling with all these challenges? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Now let's talk about a topic that has been getting a lot of buzz. One of the most pressing questions the Lions face as they head into the 2024 season. Which mid-season signing will make the biggest impact for the Detroit Lions? Now, we all know that injuries have been a huge factor this season, and I mean huge. The Lions' depth chart has been completely reshuffled with key players on injured reserve. Defensive stars like Aiden Hutchinson, Marcus Davenport, and John Kaminsky are all out, not to mention some major losses in the linebacker room with Alex Anzalone, Derek Barnes, and Malcolm Rodriguez all out. With the roster decimated, the Lions had no choice but to bring in a slew of new faces to help out. Alquadin Muhammad, Isaiah Thomas, Jonah Williams, and Miles Adams have been added to the defensive line. The linebacker core has seen the arrival of Ezekiel Turner, David Long, and Quan Alexander. Even Jamal Adams has joined the team, potentially adding some much-needed help in the box. The sheer number of new names is staggering, and now, with so much riding on these fresh additions, it's time to figure out who's going to step up and make the biggest impact. In my opinion, the player who will make the most significant impact is Alquadin Muhammad. Let me tell you why. Muhammad was one of the first depth signings this season, coming in after the Lions lost Derek Barnes. At first, it seemed like a low-risk move, but with injuries piling up, Muhammad was quickly thrust into a bigger role. After Hutchinson went down, the Lions needed someone to step in and provide a pass rush. Muhammad did just that in his debut against the Tennessee Titans, recording an impressive 6 pressures in his first start. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. He had a couple of quieter weeks in Week 9 and Week 10 before being inactive. But then, Week 13 happened, and Muhammad proved why he could be the most crucial midseason signing. Against the Chicago Bears, Muhammad came alive, recording 5 pressures and a sack. He wasn't just filling a spot in the lineup. He was one of the most effective pass rushers on the field that day, contributing in both pass rush and coverage. With the Lions' front 7 depleted, getting any kind of consistent contribution from the defensive line is vital, and Muhammad showed he can provide just that. With Josh Paschal and Levi Onwuzurike dealing with injuries and uncertain futures, Muhammad is now one of the longest-tenured pass rushers on the active roster. As the Lions push toward the postseason, having a reliable player like Muhammad on the field will be crucial. Zadarius Smith is obviously going to be a key part of the defense down the stretch, but don't sleep on Muhammad. He's quietly becoming one of the most important defensive players on the roster. So, Lions fans, what do you think? Will Alquadin Muhammad be the midseason signing that makes the biggest impact for the Lions? Or do you think another player is poised to step up? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And, as always, make sure to like this video if you enjoyed the discussion, and subscribe to the channel for more in-depth Lions coverage. We'll keep you updated on everything you need to know as the season continues. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Lions!